guys, it's Ty from the Gaming Hub. Now this week we're going to look at another Warhammer game. It's called Space Marine. It's not what you would consider your typical hack and slash game, although there is a strong element of that in this game. It's really strategically sound. You can't just go in guns blazing and blade hacking and slash, or else you're going to get killed a lot. It came out a couple of years ago, but still in its own way is pretty entertaining. Plus it's really authentic, really captured the true feel and essence towards the Warhammer 40k lore that we all love so much. Check it out. Now the story for this game begins as a horde of greenskins, otherwise known as orcs, very barbaric, savage, and compared to human standards are pretty primitive. They are assaulting a forge world, and for all of you who don't know what a forge world is, it is a giant factory world designed to make weapons of mass destruction and everything else in between for the Imperium of Man. The reason why the orcs want this place so bad is A, they're looking for a good fight. It's in their nature to want to fight, and B, they want to pillage and plunder and strip this world for its natural resources and raw materials and such. Now you assume the role of Captain Titus of the Ultramarine 2nd Company. You and your fellow battle brothers respond to the threat because this forge world's strategic value is what they call strategic value absolute. This world cannot be allowed to fall, not just to the greenskins, but period. It is too valuable for supplying the entire sector of space for weapons of war to, maintain the Imperium's hold. It's that critical. So there's a lot riding on this. And if you can get over the fact, like I said, the orcs are essentially cavemen of outer space, and they ride rockets that look like they were stolen out of an old Looney Tunes vault, They're trying to, basically the creators of the game trying to show you, the gamer, that the orcs are pretty primitive. They're stupid by human comparison, but they're tough. They're really hard to kill, and they're, like I said, they're just an alien race that's bred for one thing: war. They want to fight. They don't even know why they want. They just have to fight. They can't even control their own actions. So the Ultramarines respond in kind because that's what they're bred for war. And they respond immediately as soon as possible to protect this forge world from the greenskin threat and to serve the God Emperor of Man. But maybe you shouldn't blow out your own turbine, genius! Rookie. Going in hot. Apart from this game's fixed gun emplacement segments that only happen maybe, I don't know, you can probably count on one hand how many times that happens in this game. That was probably the best part of the fixed gun emplacement in this game. But when you actually get on the ground, boy, that's when the real fun begins. The orcs got to get close because they like to get up and close and personal when they fight you. Gore spattered galore time, baby. Oh, even your armor is just covered in blood. And I know it seems a little bit unrealistic that you, one Space Marine, can do all this to an entire, army of orcs, but you're a superhuman. You're 9 feet tall, and the whole point of you is to be better than everything, to protect the universe, the galaxy, from the enemies of humanity, including the orcs. So you're supposed to be capable of doing what 1 million regular men cannot do. You're that tough. Plus you get better armor and weapons than the average human beings. Like you get a sword that's basically a giant chainsaw. And the orcs got a little slave caste of creatures working for them. They're called Gretchen. And they're about the size of a regular human. And they're dead just as easily. But once the story really starts to take a turn for the worse, is at the halfway point where you think you're just about to finally make some headway against the orc invasion. You're told by an inquisitor to put something called the power source in this little gizmo, and evidently it'll immediately kill all orcs in the vicinity. Spoiler, it doesn't.
You got something of mine.
War bosses. Instead of destroying the orcs, what this gizmo does is actually open a gate into the warp. And who rolls out the welcome mat? Demons of Chaos!
Chaos demons! How is this possible?
Naturally, the orc doesn't seem to mind so much. More fighting for him, I guess. But even there's only so much an orc war boss can do against this many chaos demons. And who's responsible for this grand plan? This guy. badass through and through. A Chaos Terminator Sorcerer Lord. 4 titles. Not bad, huh? So towards the halfway point of the game, that's when the story really escalates, when the forces of Chaos, who worship the gods of Chaos, really throw in their lot to this game. They also want to stake a claim against this Forge world. And you have to fight demons. And as you can see, they're a lot tougher than orcs. They can take more abuse, they can deal more abuse, and they are fast. They are tough sons of bitches. Yes. Oh, the slow motion kills that, by the way, are the only way to replenish your health. So this game encourages you to mercilessly butcher your opponents. It's the only way to save you, man. You have to be as brutal and savage as possible. It magically replenishes your health. Go video game logic. Woo! You get a couple of NPC buddies that tag along with you, and they're good for cannon fodder because they're invincible. So if you're weak and on health, just back it up and let them take the brunt of the enemy assault with you. And as the invasion really gets thrown out of control, you're actually joined by other Space Marines.
Blood Raven Squad Corvus reporting in, Captain Titus. We joined the Liberation Fleet at Bakar, along with a squad of Black Templars.
Unleash the fury you showed me.
Just so you know, this is actually my favorite part of the entire game. Fighting alongside Blood Ravens on this bridge. The whole point is to make a drastic push against the forces of Chaos. Take it back! The Blood Ravens are basically the poster boys for THQ, and THQ, although they are bankrupt today, they're the ones who made this game. So every THQ game made that had Warhammer pasted on it, the Blood Ravens were always in it. And you know what? I like that. I respect that. It shows a sense of consistency. It really does. The action in this game is just intense, especially when the forces of Chaos show up. That's when it really gets a lot tougher, but that much more satisfyingly brutal, you know? Because if you like Warhammer, this is the game for you. This is the one you've been waiting on. Oh, just hose him with a Stormbolter. Okay. Originally I thought those were possessed humans, but no, those are actually just rogue psychers, or psychics. Ooh, step on them. Kill them good. Get them! Kill him good. Oh, yeah. Maybe the Bloodletters can quick dash. That's the name of those demons, by the way. Well, let's face it. There's not a whole lot that can outmaneuver a frickin' Stormbolter. Uh-oh, reinforcements incoming, Chaos. Oh, and the ribs in the collarbone. You did, sucker. Yep.
Ultramarines, deploy on my mark.
Looks like the cavalry has arrived.
Infestation at drop point Validus. Cleanse and purge.
This level really just showcases what a full-on battle really looks like. I love it. That's right. That's right. Oh, yeah. Nice. Yes. Purge the heretic, as they would say. Oh, fixed gun emplacement time. Bam, 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 bam. Infinite ammo. Wow, tongue tie. Where would we be? There you go. I knew you could do it. Where would we be without it? Well, it sounded so much easier the second time around. Oh, just. And by the way, all your little Space Marine buddies, they're invincible. Let them attack from the front and you gallantly lead from the rear, while laying down suppressing fire. It is strategically a sound idea. You back up like a little pansy, and you let your boys do all the fighting for you while you safely shoot from the rear. Honestly, I do it that way. I just did. Make sure to always look for spare ammo. You're going to need it. Looks like they're falling down. Knock myself. Boom.
Captain Titus. Oh. Squad Solinus reporting in. Manufactorum Narcis is secure.
Good to know.
Very good.
Your orders, Captain.
Contain the chaos threat here.
Oh, Thunderhawk, a flying tank transport vessel. Those things are so badass. Love them.
Thunderhawk ready for transport, Captain Titus.
I will need all your skill.
Area secured.
I will take you into the Eye of Terror if you ask it, Captain.
The orbital spire will do for today, brother.
Well, that about wraps it up. You've seen it for yourself. You heard the testimony. Now it's time for the verdict. The game is hack and slash, and although one would think it would become repetitive, but because the game's story and the pacing and everything else, it's so well done. If you're a Warhammer fan like myself, then this is your wet dream come true. This is the game you've been waiting on. So yeah, it's not repetitive. It stays good and entertaining all the way through, and it's a solid 8-hour playthrough, which is good because lately most games are only 6 to 7 hours, and that kind of sucks. And on top of that, like I said earlier, the game has been out for a couple of years now, so you could probably get it for $20 or something like that. Can't beat that deal. So I give Space Marine a well-deserving 8.5 out of 10. It really deserves it. I love this game, and you know what? It's too bad THQ went bankrupt, because I bet because of that I'll never see a sequel to this game, which is unfortunate because the story ends on a satisfying but still open-ended ending. Good grammar for you, buddy. And you know what? It just left it open for a possible sequel, but it may never happen now. It's too bad. But you know what? Still, 8.5 out of 10. Really earned it. And you know what? Even after the years I've played it, I still enjoy it. And you know what? It's even got a pretty decent multiplayer. It's simple. You're either Chaos Space Marines or regular Space Marines. You got your 3 classes, and that is it. There's nothing fancy behind it, but you know what? It's still rewardingly satisfying when you crush an enemy underneath your ginormous, size 20 boot heel. So anyways, thanks a lot for tuning in to another exciting episode of The Gaming Helm. Hope you enjoyed it, and you know what? We'll see you next time. Take her easy.